Hi there, and welcome to my channel Movie Critic. My name is Avik, and in this channel I would be reviewing movies across regions, genres and languages. I would also be sharing snippets of the movie during the course of this review. A slight disclaimer though, this video does contain spoilers, so if you would like to watch this movie, I suggest you save my video for later. You can always go watch the movie and come back to my video. I would also be leaving time codes in this video so you can navigate to your favorite parts of the video with relative ease. So without further ado, let's get right into it. What happens when you take Men in Black, add in a few characters from Harry Potter, get in Disney to direct the movie, and give a throat infection to more than half of the cast?
Listen to the two of us, grunting at each other like a pair of hippos with a throat infection.
You get Artemis Fowl, a kiddie version of James Bond in the age-old settings of dwarves and elves. I came across this movie on Disney Plus, found the trailers to be somewhat interesting and decided to give it a shot.
What are you doing here?
I know that I'm not the exact audience that Disney had in mind when they were creating this movie. I figured I may as well just give this movie a shot and see how it goes. So without further ado, let's get right into it. This movie was released in 2020 and is based on the 2001 novel of the same name by the Irish author Ewan Colfer. Being a series of 8 novels, you might actually expect Disney to come up with a few sequels depending on how successful this current movie is. This movie is directed by Kenneth Branagh and is basically just short of 2 hours. It seems sort of a platform to get kids used to the ideas of aliens. If you like Men in Black,
I knew it. This is an alien, and you guys are from some government agency trying to keep it under wraps.
and would like somewhat of a kid version of it, then this movie might fit the bill. Also, since the movie is based on a novel, despite the fact that it's by Disney, if you expect scenes like
Be our guest, be our guest, put our service to the test.
'Cause I know that I won't go speechless.
then you'll basically find nothing of that sort over here. The movie has managed to bring in some A-grade actors, so let's just go over a few of them. First, we have Hagrid as a narrator.
Sorry I'm late.
But over here in this movie, he basically goes by the name Mulch Diggums. A digger and a thief, he calls himself to be a large dwarf.
The hell does that mean?
Yeah, apparently that's a word.
You're not a dwarf.
No, I am. I'm a dwarf.
No, you're not.
I am a giant dwarf.
Kind of like Atri from Infinity War.
You understand, boy? You're about to take the full force of a star.
Despite being very old by human standards, he quickly joins Artemis's team and on occasion even boasts of his abilities in a kind of a sore throat.
When he was 10, he cloned a goat and named it Bruce. Weird choice, but he's an unusual kid.
I just have one question over here. How did he even come to know about all these things? Did he stalk Artemis or something, or did someone just blabber that to him during the course of this movie?
I don't know.
Next up, we have the main lead, Artemis Fowl. Now, depending on which angle you might see him from, he might come across as the good guy or the bad guy. Portrayed to be a boy genius, the movie actually revolves around this 12-year-old. Besides the fact that halfway through the movie, he just thought to himself,
Put on the suit.
there is one fact that did stay with me.
When he was 10, he cloned a goat and named it Bruce.
Now, I wonder what would happen when the goat actually goes back to the farm. Can't understand what they're talking about? Well, here's a basic translation.
Hey, who are you? I'm your clone. Who are you? My clone. Then who am I?
Next, you take Zarozwan Daxus from the Game of Thrones, make him wear a suit, color his hair, and give him blue contacts. Also add in the skills of Ra's al Ghul and Alfred from Batman, and you get Butler, Tom Butler. He is Artemis's sidekick in the movie, and he is skilled in wooden sword fights, camouflage, and shooting. Word of caution though,
And under no circumstances were you to ever call him the Butler, even though his last name was in fact Butler.
Dude, I don't get it. I don't get it either.
Then you have 2 key elven characters, Holly Short, a rather childish-like elf who gets kidnapped and is then held for ransom, and M, the 802-year-old leprechaun who is basically the commander of the elven army.
You're smaller than I remember.
Has anyone ever told you you're like David Bowie if David Bowie were a fairy.
Overall, the characters are quite flat and you just happen to forget about them the moment they're off screen. To make this review a bit more interesting and to get in the feels, I shall narrate the next section of this video in the voice of Mulch Diggums.
Clap your hands if you believe in fairies.
The story starts with me getting arrested and taken to prison.
Arrested near Falmouth.
When I rant about my crush, Artemis Fowl, his antique-dealing father, taught him everything there is to know about elves and goblins. He also happens to get kidnapped by someone with a sore throat.
Artemis Jr., I presume.
The kidnapper calls Artemis and demands the Aculos in exchange for his father's life, wondering why he was kidnapped.
With the Aculos, I will rise to the surface, then release my army to take over the Earth and own the...
Blah, blah, blah.
And thus, the hunt begins. Meanwhile, in the center of the Earth, the elves are having a Halloween party. Oh wait, that's what they always wear. While I'm getting processed as a prisoner, I try flirting with Holly, but she just doesn't seem to care. By the way, remember Dobby from Harry Potter? I found his cousin.
You got a big mouth for a dwarf.
How can Dobby ever repay him?
M comes in to address a team of elves and is very happy to announce.
Virgo, B Squad, C Squad, you're all on triple night duty downtown.
The team just can't seem to contain the joy on their faces.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
But wait, without sunlight, how do you know if it's a night shift going on?
Right, thought never crossed my mind.
Oh no, a troll is wreaking havoc on her, so let's put Holly in an egg and shoot her up in the sky. They freeze time around the troll and then time up, while Andrew the Leon sings in the background. When things come under control, it's time to wipe everyone's memories.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you will, look right here.
As a separate side plot, things take a turn for the worse when Holly decides to investigate her father's death and encounters Artemis Fowl. She's eventually kidnapped by Artemis, but when she tries to hypnotize the captors,
I bet you have beautiful eyes. I wish I could see them.
That's not going to work. We've got protection. We've got protection.
So M now decides to wage an all-out war against the 12-year-old to retrieve Holly. When the so-called warriors get beaten by a 12-year-old and his sidekick, they decide to call in the best bet of victory, me. Turns out, the Aculos is actually hidden in Artemis' house. I gotta make a call.
Yes?
We found the Aculos.
What?
It was hidden in Artemis' house.
You don't say.
Oh, by the way, I'll be joining his army.
You don't say.
Yeah, he's just the best.
You don't say.
Who was it?
He didn't say.
Now the representative board of executives is actually a lackey for the kidnapper, so he decides to release the troll that they caught earlier and even smacked him on some drugs. Once the troll is defeated, Artemis asks Holly to use the Aculos to bring his father back.
I don't even know that this will work.
If you have a magic item, may as well use it. Once Holly casts the spell.
Did it work? Did you bring him back? I don't know.
You know nothing.
But turns out, Artemis' dad is teleported to his basement, and the kidnapper now takes a shot at being Darth Vader. You can't plan a movie sequel without the hero challenging the kidnapper.
We're coming for you.
You think you can beat me?
And breaking me out of an undisclosed, high security, and isolated prison.
That's my ride! Get back here, you filthy little dwarf!
If only breaking out of prisons was this easy, Andy Dufresne could have gotten out much sooner.
Before we move on to the next segment of this video, if you're liking it so far, a like would really be appreciated. And also, if you'd like to see more content like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Boy, That previous section really did a number on my throat. Anyways, to summarize this movie,
Not quite my tempo.
the movie was monotonous and did not have any impact whatsoever. Despite being based on the novel, this movie came across as a mashup or a hodgepodge of different scenes and plots from different movies. Kind of like Rachel's English Trifle.
Oh my god, she made half an English trifle and half a shepherd's pie. Man.
While I personally haven't read the novels myself, the readers who have are even more disappointed as the movie has strayed off from the course of the novel by quite a lot. Safe to say, our thoughts about the final season of Game of Thrones basically echoes with them.
The final season of Game of Thrones was universally loved.
If you haven't watched this movie so far, let me be honest, you're not really missing out on anything. You can just watch something else instead.
Thanks for the advice.
So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you liked this video. Is there any other movie that you would like for me to review? If so, feel free to leave them in the comment section. If you like this video, do give a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe icon, turn on the notification bell so that you're notified anytime I upload more videos. Stay tuned for more content, and in the meanwhile, stay safe and keep smiling.